everybody. Welcome to Oxford Community Television. I'm Terry Stiles, and this is a special moment at OCTV. We are talking with Cathering Ulrich Brakefield. You probably recognize the face because she's on her 7th book, and that's what she's here to talk about.
Yes.
Catherine's going on tour with that 7th book, so this is a good time to pick up all of her books for Christmas gifts. I'll plug all of them because I've read almost all of them, and they're just amazing. You amaze me that you are so prolific. It's just, what inspires you, Catherine?
My readers really encourage me, and my Lord inspires me.
Yes.
He keeps giving more and more different kinds of things to write, you know.
Do you wake up in the morning and say, really, again?
Sometimes, because Love's Final Sunrise is one of those books. I didn't know, I never wrote a futuristic before. Never did. And I never wrote Amish. I'm always writing historical romance.
Yeah,
and
right.
I feel kind of comfy in there, you know, because it's history and I love history.
Sure.
And this one was the first one, and really this one was really geared for one part of the futuristic part, because not everybody believes when it's going to be a rapture for in the pre or the post or the final. Yes, that's right. And nobody knows. And I'm not there to change their opinions.
Right.
I'm just there to tell them the truth. And you know what? I can tell you one thing. They kept associating it with Left Behind, you know, and I thought I saw that movie a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I better see that again, you know, because this was already out. And my publisher, Crossover, kept mentioning about it's like Left Behind, but different, you know. And I thought, okay, I'll just check it out and see what they really did. I never thought about it like that. But Kirk Cameron mentioned in Left Behind, right at the beginning of the prologue, what does it matter what we think we know?
Yeah.
In the end, there is no denying the truth.
Oh, so true.
That is so true.
I forgot Kirk Cameron. I forgot about him.
Yes.
Very religious,
Yes,
right?
yes.
He does some really good work.
Mm-hmm.
So
he does.
Talk a little bit about the book. So this is definitely a departure from what you normally do.
Exactly. And we were thinking on the cover, we were going to have Amish cart and this sort of stuff, and my publisher said, no, I want this, and I thought, barn, what's so good about a barn? You know, to me it means work, but everybody loves the cover, you know.
Yeah, it's a
and
beautiful
I
cover.
thought, gee, it was really,
Catchy.
you know, yeah, it is. It's catchy. And I thought, go figure, she knew what she was talking about.
So your character in the book ends up at an Amish farm, surviving, right?
Exactly. And it's it's a future suspense wrapped around a very intriguing romance. My heroine is a hunter, and fox hunting, and her grandmother just died a week before, you know, and she's having these terrible nightmares, you know. And so she goes off down the road and she gets swamped into this mist. And this is when she meets this Amish man, you know. And little does she know that, you know, she comes out of that, but then she finds out her boyfriend, you know, she doesn't know him that well, but suddenly he becomes more and more possessive. And she doesn't want to be possessed, you know.
Right. Of course.
But she realizes there's something a little wrong with him. But anyways, to make a long story short, she ends up running away from him. And she bangs her head and she gets amnesia.
Oh, my goodness.
And lo and behold, you know, this Amish man finds him. But
he finds her.
He finds her. And right during an EMP attack.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
So everything changes. The whole world has no electricity. Nobody knows what's going on.
Wow. And nobody knows how to live without electricity
but the Amish.
And television.
Yes.
Right.
But the
telephones.
Amish. And cars won't work, and they're using old cars and everything else, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, but...
Your books, every one that I've read, are page turners.
Yes.
There's something new on the next page that's unexpected.
Yeah.
So I imagine, especially with something like this, it's futuristic, and all this mayhem that's going on. I imagine it's really exciting to read that.
It is. My reviews are coming out because this just came out November 15th.
Oh, wow.
Just
so
November
it's fresh
15th, fresh off the press.
Right.
And I had a few people that have read the ARC, which really was kind of a rough draft, but they are coming back gangbusters with reviews. And one lady bought 5 copies to pass out. And I really wrote it like that. I wrote it for the elect. You know, Jesus says in Matthew 24:22, those days will be trying times, and no one will be able to survive. But I will shorten those days for the elect. For the elect's
isn't
sake,
that
I will shorten
interesting?
those days. He is out to protect his Christians and his Jews. Everybody that trusts in the Lord, which he calls the elect, he's ready to protect them to the end. It's almost like, in my book, it's like Jesus and the Lord, Jesus and God are standing at the sidelines. Come on, you guys can do this. You know, you can get through this.
Being cheerleaders.
Because, being cheerleaders. So the devil's trying to get them. He wants so much to be the great deceiver and deceive, if possible, even the elect. Because he don't care about the other ones. He already has them, you know.
Right.
But he wants God's people.
Mm-hmm.
He wants them. I got to get them. And so God is there trying to say, hang in there. I've told you what to look for. Don't worry about it. And I pepper scripture all through there. So you know what to look for. I'm telling you, if our Bibles are confiscated, get this book. Because you will know exactly what you need to know for those latter days.
And
That's
so, obviously, you have a lot of research as far as the Bible is concerned.
Yes.
How long did it take you to be able to put all your biblical knowledge together to create this story?
I've already started working with it way back. I was trying to remember. It was back in, 2017.
Oh, wow.
Or someplace around there where people are getting more and more interested about the end of times. You began to hear it more in the pulpit.
Sure.
More movies were put out with this. And I thought, what's going on? I don't remember where that was in the Bible. So I started doing my own research, listing it down, in chronological order and seeing where it placed exactly. Because a lot of things stood out in me. In Revelations 4, I think 13 something in the end there, he says, here is a faith that no one's received this mark of the beast, and here is a faith of the saints, all those that believe in Jesus. Well, if we're taken up, how can we be there? You know, yes, and they said yes, their deeds will follow them. You know, and I thought that's interesting. You know, so what does that mean? So I kept looking at, but I said, what if I write? You know, that's when the futuristic idea came in, and then I met my Amish group, who was, in fact. It was way back in the early 1900s when, 2005 or 2003 is when I met them. I met them first in Ohio, fox hunting.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, it was.
So yes, I should say,
So-
your Amish presence in this book is historically correct as
correct.
well. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, because I canned with them. I watched them build houses. They built my one shed. You know, I saw how they worked.
And
they did my
they're your
floor.
blacksmiths.
They're my
also.
blacksmith, and I just saw his baby. Oh, he's the cutest baby I ever saw.
Sweet.
Yes.
So you become friends with them
Yes.
first.
Yes.
And then how did they feel about you introducing them into this book?
They were kind of excited about it, you know, but they wouldn't give me any information about their history. I had to find out that myself. And so when I told my source, I said, well, how about this? He says, yeah, that's true. You got that's right. But he was like a mystery, a mystery on top of a mystery, getting all the facts I needed to know about the Amish. So that's what I'm going to be doing in Oxford, you know, this Wednesday from 6 o'clock, talking about and demonstrating the different parts of their early life and how they became Amish. I'll tell everybody else, I will be at the D'Angelo Library that Thursday, the 8th, at 6 to 8. They already have 13 people signed up. So if you're going to come, that's in Lapeer, right down 24 by Nessaping Street. You'll see it right in the corner. Yeah, so easy to find.
Yeah.
But call them because they got 13 people already. They just need to know the seats. So that's another idea.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll
and
have
then
a
you'll be there to
PowerPoint.
talk about your books. This
have a
book in
PowerPoint.
particular, but all your books too.
All my
right?
books will be there.
Let me read the titles. You've got Wilted Dandelions, Sweep into Destiny, Destiny Whirlwind, Destiny of Hearts, Waltz and Destiny, Love's Final Sunrise, and your very first book.
My first book was Wilted Dandelions.
Wilted Dandelions, okay.
Yeah, and
this is what I'm thinking of.
And then Destiny's Whirlwind, and then Destiny of Heart. Waltz with Destiny is supposed to be the jewel of the Destiny series, and then Love's Final Sunrise. And these two books kind of came before. I did
That's what
these.
got you started, right?
Yeah, I wanted happy endings.
So this is for Imlay City and Lapeer area.
Lapeer area,
history
and then
books.
Eastern. So I did the whole Lapeer County.
So I do want to
doing this
mention
one.
all the history that's in all of Catherine's book. Catherine's actually done the trail of what she's writing about. Catherine and Ed, your husband Ed.
Yes.
These books are really interesting because they are so historically
accurate,
parallel and accurate. It's really fun to read your books, and it's always so fun to talk to you.
And history tends to repeat itself. We need to know this.
It sure does.
A lot of the information.
You can't erase history.
No, you can't erase it. But you can, and it's amazing, like with the Irish immigrants and how they had to work their way up. Other immigrants did the same thing.
Yes.
It was amazing to find out their perseverance and their endurance.
Yeah, in that one book, the Irish, you focused on the Irish, and they were treated worse than slaves, which is hard to believe because the slaves were treated so badly. But they did jobs that the
slaves couldn't do.
Slave owners didn't want them to do because they were more valuable.
Yeah, they were considering it. They were still considering pieces, material, but they were more valuable. I mean, they were slaves. Irish were a dime a dozen.
Yeah,
they could die. They don't care. They don't lose anything.
Yeah,
and they did.
Yeah,
by the thousands. And then Waltz into Destiny 2 was another one that I got done. And a lot of the information I read from there and from memoirs that my father left and everything. I didn't know that they didn't know that they were going to beat the Germans and the Japanese.
Oh yeah, right.
I know.
They had no idea.
They were barefoot in Destiny of Heart, selling papers on street corners, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, they get to have their first car, and the big band era was there. Guess what?
Right.
They were thrust into this.
And the history that you can gather just from reading these books is just incredible. So go see Catherine. Yes. Get your Christmas list all taken care of by just grabbing these books. And thank you for coming to OCTV.
You won't be disappointed. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so glad to be with her again.
Always. It's always nice to have you here. And thank you for joining us.
God bless.